Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 18th of March. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And yeah, we got some good screenshots from the weekend, but for now, I'm going to start off with a little bit of topical stuff because Bryson DeChambeau had a fun quote about kind of PhD related. If I wanted to study things that would help in golf, I should study Newtonian mechanics, particle physics, and maybe dabble in engineering and anatomy and economics. So first of all, anatomy, come on, dude, that's like a joke from anyway, he meant kinesiology probably, like how the body works, how to stretch it out, the things sports medicine doctors learn that would be useful. But Newtonian mechanics, particle physics, you sure you know what particle physics is? I don't think you do. So anyway, maybe the Zen of particle physics would help you at golf, but the actual knowledge about the uncertainty principle or the sixfold path or whatever thing, I don't think that helps you. And it gives me a second to just give my little spiel about how nobody should listen to string theorists. No other theory, to my knowledge, has made three wrong predictions. Normally, like the boy who cried wolf, he cried wolf two times, and then we're like, all right, wolf guy, yeah, we get it. The wolf can eat you at that point, and we're fine because we have plausible deniability. You lied to us. So they've done that. Like, the reason you hear about the strings having so many dimensions or whatever? Is that what they tried first? No, they tried naive, super symmetric, whatever, and then they tried 10 of them, and now they have to have a whole bunch more strings and the reason why, proven wrong. Like they kept making predictions that are just provably wrong. This one is about the electric dipole moment of the electron or neutron or something. Generally speaking, it's stupid to think it would be non-zero. The fact that even was a prediction was a problem. Anyway, I wanted to kind of test out and see if you guys are interested at all in hearing science talk from me, since you hear me get excited about the science of the sport. But yeah, I'm going to probably branch out and do some other sort of podcast, whether it's a ref. See if you like the idea for the 2-minute report card. That's one that I think has a broader interest, to cross-reference which refs are making 2-minute drill mistakes because they tell us which ones are mistakes. And we can see if the ones who make mistakes are they who they're putting in the finals, because if so, then you can't find Gobert for rigging the games talk. You're putting the guys with the worst mistakes in the finals. But anyway, on to today's slate. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear any more content one way or another. But yeah, I got a couple months here where I can probably make some content on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, besides just the show. Okay, so for today's show, we got a bunch of Celtics news. So I half made lineups, and then I was like, let me just see if we get any more news out of here. Jovic being out, who cares? We got all the Detroit news. Cade injury management listed questionable. What are you talking about? Are you gonna man are you gonna sit him out or not? Like, just let us know. Pretty sure we know what that is. That's him not playing, right? So I put in the chat all the what to do if he is out. If Cade is out, we're gonna go mostly to yeah, like I mean, who is it? Duran and Ivy and Sasser for minutes, but not really usage apparently. Fontecchio if he's in. Fontecchio's toe thing, I think he's been playing through that and he's been playing pretty well. So I'm still fine playing him as long as Alsar is out, and Alsar was confirmed out. Quentin Grimes also out. Would have loved him if he was in. Questionable Jimmy Butler. So based on the line for this game, and let's look at the Miami Heat line movement. Where's my BetQL line movement tracker? Just to see Miami opened as 3.5 point dogs and are currently 1.5 point dogs. Okay, so I don't I don't know why they're dogs at all, but if there's any chance Jimmy plays, I would expect Miami to be the favorites with Jimmy and Bam active. I mean, I know Tyrese is good, but like that good? I don't know. So I don't understand what's going on with the line there. I don't understand the movement in this direction. I don't understand what's going on in this game at all. So for now, I'm gonna not gamble on it very much. Let's see, what else did we have in injury news? All the Boston guys. So Al Horford out, but then we had what was it? Porzingis in, right? Porzingis probable. So that made that not fun. Who cares? Derek White. So it's a blowout. You can't in a blowout. Sam Hauser out. So in a blowout, you can't play any of the main Boston guys. In my opinion, if you want to win the top prize, you got to have guys play full minutes. I don't care. In 3 minutes, he's not Wembanyama. Like Tatum's not going to smash in 3 quarters. Brown's not going to smash in 3 quarters. No matter if they're playing the garbagest team ever. And in fact, I think those guys don't really get a bump from that. Like they don't really like playing garbage teams. Rudy Gobert. So present at shoot around. We've seen this before. The journalists are allowed at shoot around. If he's present, that means he is not. Oh, hold on. Got a game stack that I totally agree with coming through from DK, so I'm going to take that before. Whenever he puts out a prize picks thing, they tend to move the overall prize picks lines. So I take them as soon as I get the notification. Just got the notification coming across. Oh, it's been 10 minutes. I bet these lines have already moved. Let's check. But I totally like stacking. I was just talking about Cavs and Atlanta. I like stacking Cavs and Atlanta close. I'm not going to do the all Goblins thing because I'm not an absolute idiot. I hate betting Goblins. I mean, I'll bet Devils from time to time, but no Goblins. All right. So President shoot around, big value. I am targeting that. If Gobert and Cat are out, it's not a season. It's not a season. If we knew that before lock, he would be what? 60% owned, 50% owned, massive chalk. If we get that news after lock, he will not be that owned. That is huge news to keep an eye out on. That was not expected. And yeah, so President shoot around. Rib, I don't think actually. Let's check out Gobert's injury. Like, I don't think that's been the injury from him. Anyway, keep an eye out on what's going on there. But that seems like a new injury as well. So that's an even higher chance in my like the way I'm doing Laplacian odds now of him being out. Then I also wanted to draw our attention to, like, I still want SaberSim to fix this. You still can't edit team stacks or whatever. Let me do 4 uniques. I just finished running my lineups. This is not, yeah. But you cannot adjust projected points. And today I have a game where this is wrong. 116 to 110 for Cleveland and then Indiana. I think they're going to score more points in that game. I want to just sprinkle it around everybody. I can't do that in the current iteration of SaberSim like I could before. It's frustrating. But anyway, so I tried to do that manually for this game. Let's look at what I did to Cleveland and Indiana. Mostly that meant boosting Garland, Allen, Niang, Levert. And on the other side, I guess I got to boost like Siakam and like Miles Turner. So, and for these boosts, shouldn't be too much. I just want them to be because those guys are big and they'll probably play against the bigs in Cleveland. So as much as they can without foul trouble. Obviously, could get in foul trouble. You need to limit your amount of exposure. Let's see, is Jalen Smith massively negatively correlated with Miles Turner without me having to do a rule? Yes, minus 0.1. Even more with interesting. It looks like a Jalen Smith McConnell decision. That's fun. Nesmith is the other guy who I'm not sure what they're doing with his minutes. It looked like they were extending him for a while. Now they're not. So I'm holding off on that for now. I would like him more if I guess we got any questionable guys, I guess. If any no questionable guys. So can't get to him today probably. Then we go over to Philly, Miami. That'll be interesting. I had to up at the top. I saw a bunch of guys who are about the same. Maxey, Edwards, DeJounte, all fine, but I think they're all 50 exact for the median. None of them's any better than the other in terms of absolute expectation. And then you got guys like Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland, guys that are not quite 50s, but like have a huge expectation with their current situation. Like I said, for Detroit, Boston, I took all the top guys out for Boston. For me, Tatum's off the board. For me, Brown's off the board. I think what happens is Cunningham sits, they sit Brown or Tatum. They sit, if both of them sit, if Fontecchio and Cunningham sit, you could see Boston sit both Tatum and Brown. I mean, there would be no reason for them to play. The backups could definitely smash Detroit still. I don't know where they're at for the season, if one of them has more or less games missed for prizes or whatever, but that would be the only reason for them to play. So I'm not playing guys like that. Guys like Duran, who just could smash in 25 minutes anyway, like I got to have a smidge of Duran just in case he does the thing that he can do. Ivy just would be so extended that I kind of have to think about that. What happened to my exposure column? It's like all the way over here. I don't know what happened here. Obviously, I want my exposure column to be like near where I'm setting the exposures. I mean, honestly, yeah, I think that's perfect. Okay. So let's get the exposures like this, like that. And let's look across all the game. Portland, Chicago. That game expected to be close. I just saw, what was the news on Kobe? He's still hurt, right? Yeah. That's too bad. I really like Kobe as a player. Good value here with him out. Let's look at the court IQ because that's something we haven't had much of this year. I want to make sure we're familiar with it and that I'm not just counting on SaberSim because it's low data. And when it's low data, I'm not like upset with SaberSim about it. It's just a choice has to be made that can't be confident. And so I want to make the choice that I make confidently, with as much data as I like to make it. And yeah, so I come over here in the court IQ and I see people who might be massively underprojected. Only 2 games that Kobe White's missed all season. So we don't have a huge sample, but in those games, Massive Vooch. That's always true. Wow, 2 points a minute. Is that true for Drummond? Almost 2 points a minute. So Drummond off the bench has been a massive hog of points. Uh, that seems fine. Give him 15 minutes in this game, he should score almost 30 points. So that's non-negligible. The amount of I've got a few of these back like center calls that I just think are not quite. Let's look at center because it's not just a Chicago Portland thing. There's going to be value here. You all know it. But like on the slate, where's centers? Center value in particular, I think Wiseman extended in a blowout, 0.01% owned. Yes, he's expensive. I get it. Have you seen this dude when he gets like whenever he feels like playing and he gets 20 minutes, he can smash. He can smash the slate into pieces. Like he can do 35, 40 points, no problem in a completely non-competitive Boston Detroit game in blowout time. So that's why I'm going to have a fair amount of James Wiseman. Same general argument for Naz Reid, although I was expecting to get to more of him. A little bit surprised. I boosted him to 40 and I'm still not getting much Naz Reid. That's surprise. Oh, not at center. Maybe at power forward. A little bit of power forward too, I see. And maybe some in the utility. I see. So this is not maybe the ideal way to look at this because of the positionality not really capturing all of it, but whatever. The point is there are other guys like these bigs, Jalen Duren. I should probably turn that into a Duren Wiseman fork now that I see they're both there, but let's see if that's needed. -10, minus 0.08. I think they've got this covered. I think I'm going to let them just cover it for now, the center backup center thing, and not add a rule on top because it seems like I've been getting better behavior since I stopped doing that. But yeah, I do think you should boost a number of these centers to a much higher level. Miles Turner, I don't think I've mentioned for the people on the podcast. Thank you to everybody again for joining. Yeah, probably will take the weekends off, generally speaking. They just nuke those contests so hard. So yeah, until we get a fun, 100K competition on the weekends again, can't really get up for those. But yeah, as long as they're doing these $4 to 100K competitions, I'm gonna be there with 2% every night. It seems like fun edge. It's like, how else am I gonna get 50 lineups down for 100K up top? That's awesome. If I had had that, we'd had that a month ago. Let's not talk about that. Let's not think about that too much. I would have made more money. Is the upshot. Okay, Dalano Banton, best play on the slate, hands down. He's getting a ton of time. He has been moved into the starting lineup ahead of Scoot or somebody. Regardless, if he starts, he's great. Play him. I mean, like I have no problem with him being 65%. I mean, I don't think 96% is appropriate, but yeah, he's great. He's great play. Play him. Next core, Garland. Yep, he's had some bad games recently, but he's not going to be core for that reason. But in terms of expected usage without Donovan against Indiana, which is one of the highest paced teams in the league, absolutely absurd that he is so low owned. I must have him. Jaden Springer, I expect it to be a blowout. He's the kind of guy who can score points in a blowout. Still, 10%. He has to hit shots in a blowout even. That might be too much. Yeah, Sasser, another situation where blowout, hit shots, fine. 10, 15% Sasser, but I don't want that much. I might have to rebuild. This seems like I've messed it up pretty royally. Svi. So Svi Mikhailuk getting a lot of minutes. We'll see. I don't think those minutes are so certain, but probable blowout, min price. I'm not talking you off of any Svi Mikhailuk today. I will probably wind up with more than the amount you see on your screen right now. DeRozan, fine play. Kobe out. Yeah, did we do Kobe out? Kobe out gave us DeRozan with 34. He's kind of underperformed so far. Caruso has been smashing. Caruso with 9 extra points for 37. Let's make sure we're capturing that. Caruso for 37, 9 extra points. Yeah, let's make sure we're giving Caruso a little bump here. Yeah, we got to give Caruso that bump. What are you doing? What's Io at? Is Io also all wrong? Io at 34. Yep, Io is also too low. So we're going to get a ton of Io and a ton of, yeah, not that bad. Io is closer to right than Caruso was. I think Caruso is going to, I mean, he's close to core, and that's a breakout touchdown for Marquise Goodwin. Okay, not going to be upset by that. Not today. Okay, Alex Caruso is fine to be like close to core. Core? Yeah, core, right? Like that's not just the full games, like one game, right? Like if I do partials, he does benefit from Kobe White being not on the court. He takes over the point. I mean, it's him and Io. Yeah, Caruso, generally speaking, 36.5, getting a boost. I'm massively on Caruso today. I expect when I rerun this, he's going to be part of the core. I don't have enough like current in the pool, I think. Let me do that just so I give you guys an adequate sense of what I'm actually going to do. I don't want to, I always hate if the show runs and something changes. That happens every slate though. Make sure you join us in the Discord if you haven't already. It's free. Ping me in the YouTube if the link isn't updated. But yeah, it's yeah, late news happens. This is a big slate. It's a big slate and it's a long slate. We've got seven o'clock games, 7:30 games, actually questionable people late in the day. If you wanted to play the slate where you've got a lot of exposure to these late games and see if somebody gets ruled out, not the worst idea in the world. And I mean, regardless, I mean, like for me, for you guys who are MMEing, a lot of you who watch the show, you got 50, you got 100 lineups, 150, you got lineups you need to be swapping, lineups that will be very benefiting from a swap. So, make sure you're supervising it. Like tonight, there's the $60 Fantasy World Championships. I'll probably manually swap that one just to make sure I agree with all the decisions. But I mean, I'm not sure I'm going to manually swap it. I don't really do manual swaps that well. And right now, I'm not having a great upload, download projections thing with SaberSims not going great with the new version of the beta. I have to just stick with it as is. Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm really okay with getting quite a lot of Alex Caruso tonight. Does it look like 95%? No. Yeah, 65% is perfect. All right, that's our core, Banton and Caruso. Beyond that, Ivy, yeah. I mean, like I'm assuming that what's his name sits. Cade. If Cade sits, then he's not core, but Ivy's a solid play. Probably get to like DeRozan or Garland as this next, like if you wanted to have a third core piece. But again, I'm not a single entry guy. I don't really believe in building cores. I believe in relative to the field exposure, right? So slightly above on Banton, way above on Caruso, fine with whatever on Mikhailo. It's not going to make you or break you, I don't think. DeRozan, fine around there. 2x on Garland, that's a strong stand. That's fine. Pretty big stand on Jaden. Yeah, on Ivy. Let me go to 15% just because that game might blow out. I don't want to have more than a 25% exposure to that game not blowing out. Yeah. Beyond that, all these guys seem fine. GG Jackson in that current rotation, really? I don't know, guys. I think we might be projecting from the past there a little bit. I don't want more than like 10% GG. It's just I don't think the same opportunities there for Memphis right now. So it's probably a projection from the past with GG. But I mean, he can hit shots. He's fine. Merrill's like fine if he hits shots. Yes, all these guys are. Yep, we've got a whole range of guys here that I've capped at 15. Sasser, Merrill, Ivy, Tyrese Maxey, guys who are great if they hit shots. If they don't hit shots, they're not so great. So I think that's about the level to do that with. I always have them around like that. Sasser's 0.04% today. Absolutely. I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, he might not play. He might play a lot. I mean, what's he been playing in blowouts? Sasser's stats. He's been getting extended 24 minutes in a blowout. Yeah, he was 1 for 6 that day. 25 minutes in a blowout. 1 for 8 that day. There's going to come a day where he's not 1 for 8, and I will be there with the shooter for the, more than 10. I think it's more than 10% chance. So I'm not going to cry about losing my $20 today on that particular play. Okay, but yeah, that's about it for the show. Don't really have any other things to say. I've told you all the things I'm doing. I don't have any forks. I built in a Boston Center thing when I thought both Porzingis and Horford were going to be out, but then they're not. So whatever. But let me just say, you're good enough. You're strong enough. And gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be yes.